Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So tomorrow there's going to be payments of up to $4,000 arriving for certain beneficiaries of Social Security beneficiaries. We're going to be going over who is going to be receiving those payments. Plus, with the insolvency date for Social Security trickling down, we're going to be going over which state is going to be hit the hardest with possible cuts to Social Security. But before we go ahead and dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $9,000 in free stocks or $9,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Webull. All you have to do is once you click on that link, is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least one penny. At that point, Webull will be sending you at least 3 free stocks worth all the way up to $9,000. And if you do not want to invest at this point in time and you really just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive those free stocks is just sell them for what they're worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into our lead story of today's video, and at some point today, maybe even before I release the video for today, the Senate is going to pass a bill that is going to fund different countries, different wars, specifically mostly in Ukraine, as well as some money going to Israel, Hamas, and pretty much everyone else except us. So according to Reuters, U.S. Senate begins passage vote on Ukraine aid bill. So the legislation includes $61 billion for Ukraine, $14 billion for Israel in its war against Hamas, and $4.83 billion to support partners in the Indo-Pacific, including Taiwan, and to deter aggression by China. It would also provide $9.15 billion in humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza and the West Bank, Ukraine, and other conflict zones around the globe. Republicans, of course, have demanded for months that the foreign aid bill also include border restrictions. So basically, this bill, what it's doing is it's protecting the border or going to other countries other than us. We're defending borders of other countries, but again, not really necessarily defending our border. So Republicans, of course, are saying, well, it doesn't exactly make sense. Why would we be protecting the border of other countries, but not protecting our own border, at least in this bill? So because of that, according to the Hill, Speaker Johnson fires warning shots as Senate prepares to vote on Ukraine aid. Speaker Mike Johnson is saying if this bill passes the Senate, it's going to be dead on arrival in the House. So why even waste your time voting on it? But they're going to do so anyways. At some point today, look for that bill to pass in the Senate and then, of course, be dead on arrival in the House. But let me know in the comment section below, do you believe that we should be sending more money abroad to other countries while we have our programs at home going insolvent, like Social Security? And according to this article from Newsweek, once the Social Security program goes insolvent, we have to have a benefit cut of 20 to 25% across the board. There's going to be one state that is going to be hit the hardest, and that state is going to be listed in just a moment. So economists anticipate that by 2033, Social Security will be insolvent if nothing changes. That means the Social Security Administration would not be able to pay full benefits to everyone at their retirement age. Some lawmakers have proposed cuts to the program, which could significantly hamper current seniors' ability to live in retirement. However, not all states would be equally impacted by any such cuts. California, which has more than 6.2 million Social Security recipients, would by far see the greatest effects compared to other states that has at least 1.3 million more beneficiaries depending on their monthly payments. California also sees the highest dollar amount of benefits, totaling more than $837 million as of December 2022. That amount comes to double that of any other state's Social Security benefits. While one can make the argument that means testing would still allow the most at-risk seniors to be supported during retirement, California also has one of the highest cost of living in the country. This could complicate matters for seniors trying to make it on a lower Social Security check. So of course, not only will this impact, California in the way that we have more people at the retirement age in that state, which means that more people are going to be impacted by the cuts of anywhere between, again, 20 to 25% across the board. But also, California has a very high cost of living across the board as well, which means for many people, it's going to have to, of course, moving back in with their children, or, figuring out a way to, perhaps moving to a different state that has a lower cost of living. But really, a benefit cut of 20 to 25% across the board, living alone on Social Security right now is not enough, considering that the average check is right around $1,900, with some people receiving even less than that. So to live on $1,900, even if you don't have to pay rent and even if you don't have mortgage, of course you're still going to have like property tax you have to pay. You have to pay insurance for your house, insurance for your car, and costs just rack up. So getting by on just $1,900 and not having any other type of retirement savings sit around and not working a job, it's just very difficult to get by, especially in the state of California. So if something happens, they don't do anything to make sure that the Social Security Trust Fund stays solvent past 2033, and we do indeed have these cuts of 20 to 25% nationwide, not just in California. There's going to be very huge ripple effects, and I hate to see it. Hopefully at some point in time they can come up with a solution. But more than likely, these lawmakers are just going to continue to kick the can down the road to the very last second. And maybe at that point, they'll come up with some sort of last, Hail Mary solution. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But of course, in some good news, today we actually have some payments going, I guess tomorrow actually, those payments are going to be going out up to $4,873 at the max. So according to the Sun, Social Security 2024 updates eligible Americans to receive huge $4,873 check in just days. And in just days, that's actually going to be tomorrow. So COLA recipients who were born between the 1st and 10th of the month will receive their checks on February 14th, while those born between the 11th and 20th can expect their payments on February 21st. Beneficiaries who have birth dates after the 21st of the month will receive their money on February 28th per the full schedule. The maximum amount this year is $4,873, and the average paid to retirees each month is $1,907. This year's payments show an increase of $58 on average compared to the 2023 amount. So of course, tomorrow is when those payments are going to be going out, $1,907 on average. And of course, for those who are receiving the max, well over $4,000. Now keep in mind, once again, a lot of people are actually receiving below the average of $1,900, which in 2024, with the rising costs, whether we go to the grocery store, whether we go fill up our cars, whether we're getting car insurance, any type of insurance is just rising, whether it be on your car, your house. It's very, very hard to get by. And we're seeing numerous articles which show that more and more Americans who are retired and living on Social Security are now having to come out of retirement and at least get a part-time job. And some people are even having to get a full-time job to get by. Who can really blame them? Because when you sit down and budget, receiving just that average check of $1,900, if you don't have any other money set aside, any type of investment income, if you didn't have like an IRA set up or a 401k plan with money to get by in addition to Social Security, it's just not enough, of course, in 2024. But let me know your thoughts in comments below. Do you have trust in our lawmakers in Washington to get something done to increase these payments, make sure the Social Security Trust Fund stays solvent for a longer period of time? Let me know all your thoughts in comments below. But that's all we have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. And I will see you in the next video.